Welcome to Monk's Temple. Find a comfortable position. It doesn't matter if you are sitting, lying down, or standing while you listen. What matters is that you are here, present, in this moment. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. Nothing else you need to accomplish. This moment is complete exactly as it is, and you are complete exactly as you are. Let us begin with an honest observation about being human. If we look carefully at our own experience, we notice something peculiar. There is a restlessness that lives within us. A persistent unease that follows us like a shadow. Even when things are going well, even when we have achieved what we thought we wanted, a small voice whispers, "Is this it? Is there something more?" We might call it boredom, anxiety, or the Sunday evening dread before a work week begins. Whatever name we give it, it is there. A quiet hum of dissatisfaction. Now, what do we typically do with this feeling? We try to outrun it. We fill our lives with noise, entertainment, achievements, relationships, possessions. We believe that if we can just get the right job, the right partner, the right home, this feeling will finally disappear. We treat our own minds like a room with a leaking ceiling, and instead of fixing the roof, we simply move the furniture around and hope the leak will stop on its own. This is where the teachings of the Buddha enter our story. Not as a religion demanding belief, but as a psychology offering a different approach. The Buddha was not a god making claims about the afterlife. He was a man who looked deeply into the nature of his own mind and discovered something revolutionary. He discovered that the leaking ceiling can be fixed. That the restlessness can be understood. That the shadow of dissatisfaction can be dissolved, not by acquiring more things, but by understanding the very nature of wanting itself. Imagine your mind is a radio. For your entire life, this radio has been tuned to a particular station. Let us call it the station of seeking. On this station, the constant programming is, you need something to be happy. You are incomplete. There is something missing. Find it, get it, achieve it, and then you will be okay. The signal is so constant, so pervasive, that you have forgotten it is just one station among many. You believe the noise of seeking is simply the sound of being alive. But what if there was another frequency? What if you could slowly, gently, turn the dial and discover a different station? A station that broadcasts not the noise of wanting, but the silence of presence. A station where the music is not about becoming something else, but about being exactly what you already are. This is what the practice of the Buddha's teachings offers. It is not about converting to a new belief system. It is not about trading one radio station for another and calling yourself by a new name. It is about learning that you are the one who tunes the radio. You are not the noise. You are not the static. You are the awareness that can choose which frequency to attend to. The Buddha never called his followers Buddhists. In his time, there were no such labels. There were simply people who were awake and people who were still dreaming. The invitation he extended was not to join a club, but to investigate your own experience. He famously said, "Come and see." Not, "Come and believe." Not, "Come and convert." But, "Come and see for yourself." Look at your own mind. Observe your own suffering. Notice how it arises. Notice how it passes away. This invitation is still open today. It does not require you to change your name, your clothing, your culture, or your God. It requires only one thing, a willingness to look inward. A willingness to sit with yourself, just as you are, and to become genuinely curious about the nature of your own experience. Think about the last time you felt truly peaceful. Not excitement from achievement, not the thrill of something new, but deep, settled peace. Perhaps it was watching a sunset. Perhaps it was holding the hand of someone you love in comfortable silence. In those moments, you were not trying to become anything. You were not reaching for something outside yourself. You were simply present, and in that presence, peace arose naturally. What those moments reveal is that peace is not manufactured. It is not a product we can purchase. Peace is what is left when we stop reaching. It is the background hum of existence that is always there, but usually drowned out by the noise of our wanting. There is a story about a man who spent his entire life searching for treasure. He studied ancient maps, traveled to distant lands, dug countless holes. He grew old, tired, and poor from his efforts. One day, exhausted and defeated, he sat down to rest beneath a tree in his own backyard. In that moment of surrender, he noticed something glinting in the soil beneath him. He reached down and discovered that the treasure he had spent his whole life searching for was buried right where he had been living all along. This is the paradox of spiritual practice. We think we need to go somewhere, become someone, believe something new. But the treasure of peace, of presence, of genuine well-being, is not somewhere else. It is buried in the backyard of your own awareness. The practice is simply the act of sitting down, right where you are, and beginning to dig. If this exploration of the mind resonates with you, if you feel the call to dig for the treasure buried in your own backyard, please take a moment to subscribe to Monk's Temple. Let this subscription be a small commitment to your own awakening, a reminder that you are willing to look inward and discover what is truly there. Take a slow, conscious breath. Feel the air entering your body. Notice the simplicity of this moment. The simplicity of being alive, being aware, being here. This is not something you need to achieve. It is something you already have. The practice is simply learning to recognize it, again and again. In our first time together, we explored the Buddha's invitation to come and see for yourself. Not to believe, not to convert, but to investigate your own experience. Today, we go deeper into the actual mechanism of suffering and freedom, not as philosophy, but as something you can observe in your own awareness right now. Let us begin with a simple experiment. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of air moving into your body. Notice the sensation of air moving out. Just observe. Now, in those few seconds of simply watching your breath, were you suffering? Were you anxious? Were you regretting the past or worrying about the future? For most people, in those pure moments of presence, suffering temporarily disappears. This is not a coincidence. This is a clue. Suffering requires a certain kind of mental activity. It requires thinking, judging, wanting, resisting. When those activities pause, even for a moment, what remains is peace. The Buddha articulated this observation in what he called the Four Noble Truths. These are not dogmas to memorize. They are a diagnostic framework, like a doctor's assessment of an illness. The first truth is simply that there is suffering, dissatisfaction, stress. The Buddha called it dukkha. It is the background unease we all know. The second truth is that this suffering has a cause. It is not random. It is a predictable result of specific mental habits. The third truth is that because suffering has a cause, it can cease. Remove the cause, and the effect disappears. The fourth truth is the path, the practical method for removing the cause and allowing peace to reveal itself. Now, let us examine the cause more closely. What mental habit creates suffering? The Buddha pointed to craving, to clinging, to thirst. But let us make this concrete. Think about something you want right now. It could be small, like a cup of tea. It could be large, like a promotion. Now, observe the feeling of wanting. Notice how it feels in your body. Is there tension? Is there a subtle sense that something is missing? This feeling, this reaching, this tension, is the raw material of suffering. It is not the object you want that causes discomfort. It is the wanting itself. The cup of tea, when it arrives, may bring pleasure. But the wanting, the reaching, is a state of discomfort. The Buddha observed that this reaching mind is never satisfied. It reaches for one thing, gets it, experiences brief relief, and then immediately reaches for something else. It is like drinking salt water to quench thirst. The temporary relief is followed by even greater thirst. The mind believes that if it can just get enough of what it wants, it will finally be satisfied. But this is a misunderstanding. Satisfaction is not found in getting what you want. Satisfaction is found in relaxing the wanting itself. There is a story about a fisherman who cast his net into the river every day. He caught fish, sold them, and lived simply. One day, he pulled up his net and found a beautiful golden fish. The fish spoke and said, "If you release me, I will grant you one wish." The fisherman, being kind, released the fish and wished for nothing. The fish asked, "Why did you not wish for wealth or power?" The fisherman replied, "I have everything I need. My net, my river, the sun on my skin, the food on my table. What would I wish for?" The fish smiled and said, "You have discovered the greatest wish of all. The wish for nothing." This story illustrates the third noble truth. The end of suffering is not getting everything you want. It is wanting everything you already have. It is discovering that peace does not come from acquiring, but from appreciating. From resting in what is, rather than reaching for what might be. Now, this does not mean you should never want anything. Desire is natural. The body desires food. The heart desires connection. The issue is not desire itself. The issue is attachment, the belief that your happiness depends on getting what you want. When you are attached, you suffer if you don't get it. But even if you do, the relief is temporary. The practice is to investigate wanting. To observe it as it arises, to feel it in the body, to notice the stories the mind tells about why you need this thing. And in that observation, wanting loses its grip. You can want something without suffering if you don't get it. Let me share one more story. A woman came to a meditation teacher and said, "I have practiced for years, but I still feel angry and afraid. I thought meditation was supposed to make these feelings go away." The teacher smiled and said, "Your practice is not working because you are trying to make feelings go away. Feelings are like clouds passing through the sky. Your job is not to eliminate the clouds. Your job is to remember that you are the sky, not the clouds. The clouds come and go, but the sky remains. Unchanged. Untouched. Vast and open. You are not your feelings. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness in which these things appear and disappear. When you identify with the clouds, you suffer when storms arise. When you rest as the sky, you can watch the storm without being destroyed by it. We have been exploring the Buddha's invitation to investigate your own experience directly. We spoke about the treasure in your backyard and the Four Noble Truths. Today, we turn to the practical dimension. How do we actually work with the mind? How do we create conditions for peace to reveal itself? The Buddha described three interconnected dimensions of practice: generosity, morality, and meditation. These are not commandments. They are not rules to follow so you can be a good person. They are tools for excavation. Each one is a way of investigating the mind and discovering, through direct experience, what leads to genuine freedom. Let us begin with generosity. In our modern world, we think of generosity as something we do for others. We give to charity, we buy gifts, we help friends. These are beautiful actions, but the Buddha pointed to something deeper. Generosity is primarily an internal practice. It is the mind learning to open its hand. Think about holding on to something tightly. Your fist is clenched, your muscles are tense. This is the physical sensation of grasping. Now imagine opening your hand. The tension releases. There is a feeling of lightness. Generosity is the emotional equivalent of opening your hand. When you give something away, even something small, observe your mind. Notice the resistance. Notice the voice that says, "This is mine. I might need this later." Notice the fear of loss. Then notice what happens after you give. Is there a sense of lightness? A feeling of expansion? Through direct experience, you understand that holding on creates tension, and letting go creates freedom. This is not a belief. It is an observation. There is a story about a wealthy merchant who visited a wise teacher. The merchant had everything, but he was deeply unhappy. He said, "I have given so much to charity. I built hospitals. Why am I still suffering?" The teacher held out his hand and asked the merchant to place a small stone in his palm. The merchant did so. The teacher closed his fist around the stone and said, "Now, take it back." The merchant tried, but the grip was too tight. The teacher said, "You have given many things, but you gave with a closed fist. You expected something in return. Gratitude. Recognition. True generosity is opening the hand and releasing completely, with no expectation. When you can give like that, you will know freedom. The second dimension is morality. The Buddha taught 5 basic precepts: not killing, not stealing, not lying, not engaging in sexual misconduct, and not intoxicating the mind. Again, these are not rules. They are experiments in living. Consider not lying. For one day, speak only what is true, helpful, and kind. Notice what happens in your mind. When you are committed to truth, you don't have to remember what you said to whom. There is no burden of maintaining a false story. There is a sense of integrity, of wholeness. Your mind becomes simpler, clearer. This is not because lying is bad in a moralistic sense. It is because truth creates internal harmony, and falsehood creates internal conflict. The same applies to the other precepts. When you refrain from harming, you create a mind free from guilt. When you refrain from stealing, you cultivate a mind that feels complete. When you refrain from intoxicants, you protect the clarity of your awareness, the very instrument through which you investigate your own mind. There is a story about a young man who came to a teacher and said, "I want to practice meditation, but I cannot follow all these rules. I drink sometimes. I tell small lies. Can I still practice?" The teacher smiled and said, "If you wanted to play the violin, would you cut off your fingers because they make mistakes? Your fingers are the instruments. The precepts are not punishments. They are suggestions for keeping your instrument in good condition. If you drink, your awareness becomes cloudy. If you lie, your mind becomes fragmented. These things make practice harder. Start where you are. But let your own experience guide you. Notice which behaviors create clarity and which create confusion. The third dimension is meditation. This is the direct investigation of the mind itself. You sit with the radio static and begin to understand its nature. You don't try to make it stop. You simply observe. And in that observation, something remarkable happens. The static loses its power. The noise becomes less compelling. And in the gaps, you begin to hear the silence. The peace that was always there, hidden beneath the surface. These three dimensions support each other. Generosity loosens the grip of grasping, making it easier to sit still. Morality creates a mind that is clear and free from remorse, providing a stable foundation. Meditation deepens your insight into wanting, which naturally makes you more generous and more ethical. They are three strands of a single rope, each strengthening the others. In the next part, we will explore meditation more deeply. But for now, consider these three as invitations. Invitations to experiment, to investigate, to discover for yourself what leads to freedom. Take a conscious breath. Feel the simplicity of this moment. You are here. You are aware. And you have everything you need to begin. We have explored the three dimensions of practice: generosity, morality, and meditation. Now we turn our attention more deeply to the third dimension. Meditation. What is it? How do we do it? And why has this simple act of sitting with oneself been taught for over 2,000 years as the most direct path to freedom? Let us begin by clearing away a common misunderstanding. Meditation is not about making your mind blank. It is not about stopping your thoughts. It is not about achieving some special state of bliss or transcendence. These things may happen occasionally, but they are not the goal. The goal is something far simpler and far more radical. Meditation is the practice of becoming intimately familiar with your own mind. It is learning to sit with yourself, not as a project to be fixed, but as a friend to be known. In modern life, we are in a constant state of escape. We escape into our phones, into entertainment, into food, into planning, into worrying. We are terrified of being alone in the room with our own unvarnished minds. The moment there is silence, we rush to fill it. The moment there is discomfort, we reach for a distraction. Meditation is the courageous act of turning around and facing that which we have been running from. Imagine an old, creaky house. You have lived in it your whole life, but you are afraid of the basement. You hear noises at night. Creaks. Rustles. You assume the worst. You imagine monsters, a crumbling foundation. So you stay upstairs with the lights on, the television blaring, drowning out the sounds. This is the unexamined life. One day, you get a good flashlight. You decide to go down. With the flashlight of awareness, you slowly descend the stairs. You shine the light into the corner. It is not a monster. It is just an old water heater making a noise. You shine it over there. It is just a pile of boxes. You see a crack in the foundation, but now you can see it clearly. It is not a chasm. It is a small crack that needs attention. You do not fix it tonight, but just seeing it, knowing it is there, makes the noise upstairs less terrifying. You can sleep a little better. Meditation is taking that flashlight into the basement of your mind. You will find old grief, hidden fears, forgotten joys. None of it is as terrifying as the idea of it. In the light of awareness, monsters become manageable experiences. And in that process, the whole house of your being becomes a more peaceful place to live. Now, how do we actually practice? The instructions are deceptively simple. Find a comfortable seat. It can be on a cushion on the floor, or in a chair, or even lying down if necessary. The important thing is to have a posture that is both relaxed and alert. Not so relaxed that you fall asleep. Not so alert that you are tense. The middle way. Bring your attention to the sensation of breathing. Feel the air entering your body. Feel the air leaving your body. You do not need to control the breath. Just let it breathe itself. Your only job is to notice. To feel. To be present with this simple, ongoing process. Very quickly, you will notice that your mind wanders. This is not a mistake. This is not failure. This is what minds do. They wander. The moment you notice that your mind has wandered, that very moment is a moment of awakening. You have come back. You are aware again. Gently, without judgment, bring your attention back to the breath. That is the entire practice. Wandering. Noticing. Returning. Again and again. 1,000 times. 10,000 times. There is a story about a monk who was learning to meditate. He went to his teacher and said, "My mind is so chaotic. I sit down to watch my breath, and within seconds I am thinking about food, about work, about everything except my breath. I am the worst meditator in the world." The teacher smiled and said, "Do you see that river outside?" The monk nodded. The teacher continued, "For years, people have been throwing garbage into that river. Plastic, bottles, waste. The river has become polluted. Now, imagine you want to clean it. You stand on the bank and you wait for all the garbage to float by. But more garbage keeps coming. Does that mean you are failing? No. It means the river has years of garbage to release. Your mind is the same. For years, you have been throwing thoughts, worries, plans into it. Now you sit on the bank and watch. Of course the garbage keeps coming. Your job is not to stop the garbage. Your job is to stay on the bank and keep watching. Eventually, the flow will slow. Eventually, the water will clear. But that is not something you force. It is something that happens naturally when you stop adding more garbage and simply observe what is already there. This story reveals the heart of meditation. It is not about achieving a special state. It is about cultivating a special relationship with whatever state you are in. It is about learning to be present, open, and curious, whether the mind is chaotic or calm, whether the emotions are pleasant or painful. There is another common misunderstanding. People think meditation is about feeling good. Sometimes it feels good. Sometimes it feels terrible. Sometimes it feels boring. Sometimes it feels blissful. The quality of the experience is not the point. The point is your relationship to the experience. Can you be present with boredom without reaching for distraction? Can you be present with sadness without trying to make it go away? Can you be present with bliss without grasping at it, trying to make it last? This is the training. This is the path. In the next part, we will explore the obstacles that arise in meditation and how to work with them. The Buddha called them the 5 hindrances. They are not enemies. They are teachers. Each one, when understood, reveals something important about the nature of mind. But for now, simply sit with the breath. Notice the wandering. Celebrate the moments you notice. And gently, kindly, return. This is enough. This is everything. In our last time together, we explored the practice of meditation. We spoke about taking the flashlight of awareness into the basement of your mind. We spoke about sitting on the bank of the river, watching the garbage of thoughts float by. Today, we turn our attention to what the Buddha called the 5 hindrances. These are the visitors that arise in meditation, and in life, that seem to block our path to peace. But they are not enemies. They are teachers. Each one, when understood, reveals something important about the nature of mind. The first hindrance is sensory desire. This is the mind reaching out for pleasant experiences. In meditation, it appears as thoughts about food, about entertainment, about pleasant memories or future pleasures. The mind says, "This meditation is boring. I could be eating chocolate right now. I could be watching a movie." Sensory desire pulls your attention away from the present moment towards some imagined future satisfaction. The second hindrance is ill will. This is the mind pushing away unpleasant experiences. In meditation, it appears as thoughts about someone who angered you, about situations that frustrated you, about things you dislike. The mind says, "I hate this feeling. I hate that person. I wish this would stop." Ill will is the energy of aversion, of rejection, of pushing life away. The third hindrance is sloth and torpor. This is the mind getting heavy, dull, sleepy. In meditation, it appears as drowsiness, as a thick fog that descends on your awareness. You feel like you cannot stay awake. The mind says, "I'm too tired for this. I'll meditate later." Sloth is the energy of withdrawal, of numbing out, of hiding from experience. The fourth hindrance is restlessness and worry. This is the mind getting agitated, anxious, unable to settle. In meditation, it appears as a frantic energy, as thoughts racing from one thing to another. You cannot sit still. The mind says, "I should be doing something else. I need to check my phone. What if something bad happens?" Restlessness is the energy of anxiety, of fear, of the mind trying to control the uncontrollable. The fifth hindrance is doubt. This is the mind that questions everything. In meditation, it appears as thoughts like, "This isn't working. I'm not good at this. Is this even the right path? Maybe there is an easier way." Doubt is the energy of uncertainty, of skepticism, of the mind refusing to commit to the practice. Now, here is the essential insight. These 5 hindrances are not problems to be solved. They are simply patterns of energy that arise in the mind. The practice is not to eliminate them, but to recognize them, to understand them, to relate to them wisely. There is a story about a student who went to his teacher and said, "I am struggling with so much doubt. I doubt the teachings. I doubt myself. I doubt whether meditation is helping at all. What should I do?" The teacher said, "Do you see that cat sleeping in the corner?" The student nodded. The teacher continued, "That cat does not doubt whether it is a cat. It does not doubt whether the sun will rise. It does not doubt whether its next meal will come. It simply lives its life as a cat." Doubt is a creation of the thinking mind. It is not a problem to be fixed. It is just another thought. When doubt arises, simply notice it. Say to yourself, "Ah, doubt has arrived." And then return to your breath. Do not fight it. Do not follow it. Just see it and let it be. This is the practice with all 5 hindrances. When sensory desire arises, notice it. Ah, desire is here. Do not follow the desire into fantasy. Do not fight it, creating tension. Just see it and return to the breath. When ill will arises, notice it. Ah, anger is here. Do not rehearse the story of why you are right and they are wrong. Do not suppress the anger. Just see it and return. When sloth arises, notice it. Open your eyes wider. Take a deeper breath. Ah, drowsiness is here. And return. When restlessness arises, notice the energy in your body. Feel the agitation without being swept away by it. Ah, restlessness is here. And return. When doubt arises, notice the questioning mind. Ah, doubt is here. And return. Each hindrance, when treated this way, becomes a teacher. Desire teaches you about the nature of wanting. Ill will teaches you about the nature of aversion. Sloth teaches you about the need for balance between energy and relaxation. Restlessness teaches you about the mind's fear of stillness. Doubt teaches you about the mind's need for certainty. Each one, when examined with curiosity rather than judgment, reveals its own emptiness. You see that desire is just energy, not a command. Anger is just a passing cloud, not the truth of who you are. There is another story about a woman who was meditating in a forest. She had been struggling with restlessness for weeks. One day, she decided to stop fighting it. She sat with her eyes open and simply watched the restlessness. She noticed it as a buzzing energy in her chest and limbs. She stayed with it, breathing into it, observing it without judgment. After some time, the restlessness transformed. It became a kind of vibrant aliveness. The same energy that had been experienced as agitation was now experienced as wakefulness. She realized that restlessness is not the enemy. It is just untamed energy. When you fight it, it becomes a problem. When you befriend it, it becomes a source of vitality. This is the wisdom of working with the hindrances. They are not obstacles on the path. They are the path. Each difficult moment in meditation, each challenging emotion in life, is an opportunity to deepen your practice. To learn to be present with what is, rather than constantly trying to get to some imagined better state. We have explored the 5 hindrances, those visitors that arise in meditation and in life. We discovered they are not enemies but teachers. Today, we turn to something essential. How do we take the awareness cultivated in meditation and bring it into everyday life? How do we practice not just on the cushion, but in traffic jams, in difficult conversations, in moments of stress and boredom? This is where the path becomes truly alive. Meditation on the cushion is like practicing scales on a piano. It is necessary training. But the real music is played in the world. The real test of your practice is whether you can remain aware when life gets challenging. The Buddha taught that our entire experience comes through 6 sense doors. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind which processes thoughts and emotions. Every moment, information flows through these doors. And every moment, we have a choice. We can react automatically, with craving or aversion. Or we can respond wisely, with awareness and understanding. The automatic reaction is what causes suffering. Something pleasant appears at the sense doors, and the mind says, I want more. I need to keep this. Something unpleasant appears, and the mind says, I want this to stop. Make it go away. This pushing and pulling, this constant grasping and rejecting, is the engine of dissatisfaction. The practice is to insert a pause. A moment of awareness between the sense impression and the reaction. In that pause, freedom becomes possible. There is a story about a woman who worked in a busy call center. Her job was to handle complaints from angry customers. Every day, people yelled at her. Every day, she felt her blood pressure rise, her jaw clench, her stomach knot. She would go home exhausted and irritable. Then she began to practice mindfulness. She learned to notice the first signs of anger arising. The heat in her face. The tightness in her chest. In that moment of noticing, she had a choice. She could feed the anger with thoughts about how unfair the customer was. Or she could simply feel the physical sensations without adding the story. She began to experiment. When a customer yelled, she would take a silent breath. She would feel the energy in her body. She would remind herself that the customer was not attacking her personally. They were suffering too. In that small pause, something shifted. She could respond calmly instead of reacting automatically. She still felt the energy of anger, but it no longer controlled her. She went home less exhausted. She had discovered that the gap between stimulus and response is where freedom lives. This is the practice in daily life. Noticing the sense doors. Feeling the sensations. Pausing before reacting. Let us explore each sense door briefly. The eyes. You see something beautiful or something ugly. Before the mind grabs it or pushes it away, just see. Just color and light. The ears. You hear praise or criticism. Before you swell with pride or shrink with shame, just hear. Just vibration and silence. The nose. You smell something pleasant or unpleasant. Just smell. The tongue. You taste something delicious or disgusting. Just taste. The body. You feel pleasure or pain. Just feel. The mind. A thought arises, pleasant or unpleasant. Just think. Just observe the thought as a mental event, not as absolute truth. There is another story about a man who was walking through a forest. He stepped on a thorn. Pain shot through his foot. His immediate reaction was anger. He cursed the thorn, cursed the forest, cursed his bad luck. He limped home in a rage, replaying the event over and over. His evening was ruined. Now, the first arrow was the thorn. That was unavoidable. The second arrow was his reaction. That was optional. The thorn caused pain for a moment. His anger caused suffering for hours. The Buddha called this the teaching of the two arrows. The first arrow is the inevitable pain of life. Sickness, loss, disappointment, physical discomfort. These things happen to everyone. The second arrow is what we add. The self-blame, the blame of others, the worry, the rumination, the stories about how things should be different. This second arrow is shot by our own hand. And it is entirely optional. The practice is to learn to feel the first arrow without shooting the second. To experience pain without adding suffering. To face loss without adding self-pity. To hear criticism without adding defensiveness. This is not easy. It takes practice. But it is possible. And every moment you succeed, even for a breath, you taste genuine freedom. Think about your own life. Where are you shooting second arrows? Where are you adding suffering to unavoidable pain? Perhaps you made a mistake at work. The first arrow is the mistake itself. The second arrow is the hour of self-criticism that follows. Perhaps someone spoke harshly to you. The first arrow is their words. The second arrow is the day of rumination, replaying the conversation, imagining what you should have said. The practice is to notice when you are reaching for the second arrow. To feel the impulse to blame, to criticize, to worry. And to simply pause. To let the impulse pass without acting on it. There is a story about a monk who was meditating in a cave. A scorpion fell into the water nearby and was struggling to survive. The monk reached in to rescue it, but the scorpion stung him. He pulled his hand back in pain. Then he reached in again. The scorpion stung him again. A passerby saw this and said, "Why do you keep trying? Don't you know the scorpion will sting you?" The monk replied, "It is the nature of the scorpion to sting. It is my nature to help. Why should I let its nature change mine?" This story is often told as a lesson in compassion. But it is also a lesson about the second arrow. The scorpion's sting is the first arrow. Painful but brief. The monk did not add a second arrow of anger, resentment, or vows of revenge. He simply felt the sting and continued acting from his true nature. We have been exploring how to bring awareness into everyday life. We spoke about the 6 sense doors and the teaching of the 2 arrows. Today, we turn to one of the most comprehensive maps the Buddha ever offered. The Noble Eightfold Path. This is not a list of 8 steps you complete one after another. It is more like 8 strands of a single rope, each one supporting and strengthening the others. When all 8 are present, the rope is strong enough to pull you out of suffering and into freedom. The 8 strands are divided into 3 sections: wisdom, morality, and concentration. Let us explore each one. The first strand is right view. This is the wisdom that sees things as they really are. Not as we wish them to be. Not as we fear them to be. but as they actually are. Right view begins with understanding the Four Noble Truths. That suffering exists. That it has a cause. That it can cease. That there is a path to its cessation. Right view is the lens through which you see your own experience clearly. The second strand is right intention. This is the commitment that flows from right view. The intention to renounce clinging, to cultivate goodwill, to harm no living being. Right intention is not about forcing yourself to be good. It is about aligning your heart with the truth you have seen. When you truly understand that grasping causes suffering, the intention to let go arises naturally. These first two strands belong to the section of wisdom. They are the vision and the motivation that guide the entire path. The third strand is right speech. This is the practice of communicating in ways that are true, helpful, kind, and timely. Right speech means abstaining from lies, from divisive words, from harsh language, from idle gossip. Every time you speak, you have an opportunity to create harmony or create conflict. Right speech is choosing harmony. There is a story about a man who was known for his harsh words. He criticized everyone. His family, his co-workers, even strangers. One day, he heard a teaching on right speech and decided to experiment. For 1 week, he would only speak words that were true and kind. The first day was torture. He had so many criticisms stored up. He bit his tongue again and again. By the third day, something shifted. He noticed that when he didn't express his criticisms, they eventually faded. By the fifth day, he had fewer criticisms to begin with. His mind became quieter. His relationships improved. He discovered that right speech was not just a rule for others. It was a gift to himself. The fourth strand is right action. This is behaving in ways that are peaceful and honorable. Abstaining from killing, from stealing, from sexual misconduct. Right action is the body expressing the heart's commitment to non-harm. The fifth strand is right livelihood. This is earning a living in a way that does not cause harm. Not trading in weapons, living beings, meat, intoxicants, or poisons. Right livelihood is about aligning your work with your values. When your work supports your practice, life becomes simpler. When your work conflicts with your values, life becomes a constant source of tension. These three strands, right speech, right action, and right livelihood, belong to the section of morality. They create the stable foundation upon which the entire path rests. The sixth strand is right effort. This is the energy to cultivate wholesome states and abandon unwholesome ones. Right effort is not tense striving. It is steady, enthusiastic application. Like a gardener who waters the flowers and pulls the weeds, without rushing, without forcing. The seventh strand is right mindfulness. This is the awareness we have been exploring throughout our time together. Being fully present, aware of body, feelings, mind, and phenomena. Right mindfulness is the flashlight in the basement. The bank of the river. The pause between stimulus and response. The eighth strand is right concentration. This is the collected, one-pointed state of mind developed through meditation. It is the stability that allows insight to arise. Like a still lake that reflects the stars clearly, a concentrated mind reflects reality clearly. These three strands, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, belong to the section of concentration. They are the mental training that deepens wisdom. There is a story about a sculptor who was given a massive block of marble. This block is your untrained mind. Full of potential, but rough and unformed. The sculptor does not hit it randomly. They have a vision. Right view. They intend to create something beautiful. Right intention. They use the right tools. A chisel for precise cuts. Right speech and right action. A hammer for steady effort. Right effort. They work with focused attention. Right mindfulness. They have the steadiness of hand to make clean lines. Right concentration. They make their living creating beauty. Right livelihood. All 8 strands are at play simultaneously in the act of creation. Your life is the block of marble. The Eightfold Path is the art of sculpting it into a masterpiece of peace. We have explored the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha's comprehensive map to freedom. 8 strands woven together into a single rope strong enough to pull us out of suffering. Today, we turn to a question that arises for every practitioner. How do we actually live this path? How do we integrate all these teachings into a single life, with all its messiness, its challenges, its inevitable failures? The answer is both simple and demanding. We practice moment by moment. We bring awareness to each experience as it arises. And we learn to be kind to ourselves when we forget, when we stumble, when the old habits take over. There is a common misunderstanding about spiritual practice. Many people believe that if they are doing it right, they will eventually reach a state where they no longer struggle. Where the mind is always calm. Where emotions never overwhelm. Where they are permanently peaceful. This is a fantasy. And like all fantasies, it causes suffering when reality fails to match it. The truth is that as long as you are human, you will have human experiences. You will feel anger. You will feel fear. You will feel desire. You will feel boredom. The practice does not eliminate these experiences. It transforms your relationship to them. You learn to feel anger without being consumed by it. To feel fear without being paralyzed by it. To feel desire without being controlled by it. The waves still arise, but you no longer drown in them. There is a story about a young monk who had been practicing meditation for several years. He went to his teacher and said, "I still get angry. After all these years, anger still arises in my mind. I thought by now I would be free of it." The teacher smiled and said, "Do you think I no longer feel anger?" The young monk was shocked. "You feel anger?" he asked. The teacher replied, "Of course. Anger arises in me just as it arises in you. The difference is that I do not hold on to it. I do not feed it. I do not identify with it. It arises, it stays for a moment, and it passes away. You, on the other hand, when anger arises, you grab it. You hold it. You rehearse the story of why you are right to be angry. You make it your identity. The anger is not the problem. Your relationship to the anger is the problem. This story reveals the heart of integration. Freedom is not the absence of difficult emotions. Freedom is the ability to let them arise and pass without clinging, without resisting, without adding stories. The waves still come, but you have learned to surf. Now, how do we cultivate this ability? Through the consistent, patient practice of mindfulness. Every time you notice a difficult emotion arising, you have an opportunity. You can react automatically, as you always have. Or you can pause, feel the sensation in your body, and simply observe. Ah, here is anger. Here is fear. Here is sadness. In that moment of observation, you are no longer completely identified with the emotion. A small space opens. A space of freedom. This is not easy. The habits of a lifetime are strong. You will forget to pause. You will get swept away by emotions. You will react in ways you later regret. This is not failure. This is practice. The question is not whether you fall. The question is whether you get back up. There is a story about a woman learning to ice skate. She fell again and again. Each time, she got up, brushed herself off, and tried again. A child watching said, "Why do you keep falling? Don't you know how to skate?" The woman laughed and said, "Falling is how I learn. Every time I fall, I understand balance a little better." The goal is not to never fall. The goal is to fall, get up, and keep going. Your practice is the same. You will fall into old habits. You will forget to be mindful. You will react with anger or fear or grasping. This is not a problem. This is learning. Each time you notice that you have fallen, that moment of noticing is a moment of awakening. You are back. You are aware. You can begin again. This is why the Buddha emphasized the quality of patience. Patience with yourself. Patience with the path. The gradual training, gradual practice, gradual progress. You are not trying to become enlightened in a day. You are planting seeds. Watering them. Trusting that in their own time, they will grow. Think about a farmer planting rice. They do not dig up the seeds each morning to check if they have sprouted. They prepare the soil, plant the seeds, provide water and sunlight, and then they wait. They trust the natural process. Your practice is the same. You create the conditions. You show up each day. You water the seeds of mindfulness with your attention. And then you trust. The results are not up to you. They are up to the natural law of cause and effect. There is another story about a man who planted a mango tree. He watered it daily, protected it from pests, gave it fertilizer. After a year, there were no mangoes. He complained to his neighbor. The neighbor said, "How long have you had the tree?" The man said, "1 year." The neighbor laughed. Mango trees take 5 years to bear fruit. You are doing the right things. Now you must do the only hard thing. You must wait. Your practice is the mango tree. You are doing the right things. Meditating. Practicing generosity. Speaking truth. Now you must do the only hard thing. You must wait. You must trust. You must continue showing up, day after day, without demanding immediate results. In the next part, we will explore the role of community, the Sangha, in supporting your practice. How practicing with others can strengthen your own path. But for now, simply reflect on your relationship to your own practice. Are you demanding immediate results? Are you judging yourself for falling? Can you cultivate a little more patience? A little more kindness toward yourself? This kindness, this patience, is itself the path. We have journeyed far together. From the treasure in your own backyard to the radio of the mind. From the Four Noble Truths to the 3 dimensions of practice. From the 5 hindrances to the 6 sense doors. From the 2 arrows to the Noble Eightfold Path. Today, we arrive at the end of our time together, but not the end of your journey. The end is always a new beginning. Let us return to where we started. The question of whether you need to become a Buddhist to practice the Buddha's teachings. The answer, as clear now as it was then, is no. The path is open to everyone. It always has been. It always will be. You do not need to convert. You do not need to change your name or your God or your culture. You need only one thing. A willingness to look inward. A willingness to investigate your own mind. A willingness to discover, through direct experience, what leads to peace and what leads to suffering. The Buddha's last words were, "All conditioned things are subject to decay. Strive on with diligence." He was not saying try harder. He was saying do not wait. The conditions will never be perfect. The time will never be exactly right. The path is here, beneath your feet, in this very moment. There is a story about a man who stood on the bank of a river, waiting for the water to stop flowing so he could cross. He waited his whole life. The river never stopped. He died on the bank, never having crossed. Do not be that man. The river of your life is flowing now. Cross while you can. Practice while you can. Awaken while you can. You have everything you need. Your breath is your teacher. Your mind is your laboratory. Your daily life is your meditation hall. The practice is simple. Notice when you are reaching. Pause. Return to the breath. Begin again. 1,000 times. 10,000 times. Each moment of awareness is a step on the path. Each moment of kindness is a flower planted. Each moment of patience is a seed watered. Thank you for being here, at Monk's Temple. May your practice deepen. May your heart open. May you discover the peace that was always there, waiting for you to notice. Go in peace. Come back anytime. The door is always open.